What's up, guys? And excuse the state of me. I've been mega busy all day. Just finished off recording. Right, and first and foremost, as always, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for purchasing and supporting me with my tutorials. It means the world. Just want to push up some good vibes and some good knowledge. So today in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to purely skip guard a triangular, completely boxed off crop. So triangular shape is coming something similar to what I have, but he has no fringe, it's completely gone. So I have a little bit of a tuft here, but his is completely gone. It's going to teach you how to maintain the squareness at the back, the triangular coming through. Ricky has had the haircut he had before. He went really short, so there wasn't much length here. It was a lot less than what I would have liked. Sorry, excuse me. So yeah, and then I'm going to show you the shape up, completely skip guard again, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the tutorial. Thank you so fucking much. Mwah! Hope you enjoy. Bye! Right, so guys, as normal, we're going to be creating our horseshoe section, growth pattern to recession. Getting those lines nice and clean, nice and crisp. Making sure you're going with the growth of the hair. And you can see, crown to recession, crown to recession. Same as before, I'm going to create our baseline, right way around, right way around. Sorry about the banging, guys. I have got a barber shop and a gym, and there is a class going on at the moment. I do apologise, so if you do hear any music in the background, or if you hear any banging, it's because of the gym, it's not me. Same as before, originally, cut in. Keeping it nice and square at the back so my fingers are not there, not tight towards here. They're tight to the skull here, so I can't get my comb through all the way around. Same again on the neck section, underneath. And I've already cut that part, but this part, because I want to keep it nice and square coming through, and with the shape and stuff, when I'm going to do a bit of creative styling, and pulling it around here. And this side of my knuckles are off the head. They're tight here, off here. That's to create the length using line theory, so that's to create the length here. Following it through. Now here both of my knuckles are tight to the head, all the way through. Even tighter towards the recession because of how he's going to style his hair, how I'm going to cut it. It's going to be a completely boxed off crop. Same on the other side. Tight here. You got your guideline here, previous cut there, long bit in the middle, take it clean off. Same again, knuckles tight here, loads of room at the back. Creating that squareness at the back, the rear. If you do this with your baseline, the rest at the top should follow. So now I'm going to show you something different today. I'm going to comb that all the way in to be nice and uniform in. I'm going to start by taking the fringe off. It's completely different to how I showed you in the previous video, sorry. And this is how I cut Ricky's hair every time. Pulling it down and through. Nice clean line straight through. Following it, as you can see, a previous cut is underneath from where you've shaped it up before. Same again, inch or so. Very similar to how I cut Niall's hair. But this time we're not actually saving a receding hairline because Ricky has his fringe clean off anyway. Again, this is just removing weight, length, not weight. Always work with the hair, make it easier for yourself when you come to styling. Same again this side, come roll forward again, straight through. This is just from about the ear, it's not behind the ear, it's just from about the middle of the ear, the section starts from. Don't come around that way, sorry that's what I was meant to say. Don't come from around this way, match it up from the left to the right. So whatever side you cut first, cut the opposite side then and then meet in the middle. The reason for that is being that you're not going to end up coming too low and rectifying at the end or end up coming too high. So you start from where you need to in a recession line, and the fringe, you're coming through. Match in the middle then. Combing it through again. As you know, sometimes you do leave some longer hair, sometimes it's our tool, sometimes it's us just missing them. We are humans at the end of the day. And as you can see, we'll box off and then we'll take everything off underneath later on with the clippers when you're boxing the fringe off. Now this is where I'm just going to, I haven't done my elevation line, I haven't done my centre profile line, I'm just going to come straight up and through the middle. This haircut is about saving time, as he has a complete skip guard as well with Ricky, because his haircut's lovely and square. Let's come up, completely box cut, club cut sorry, through the middle. Obviously you already have your guides from your fringe anyway, because you've just taken the side bits off. Just coming nice into a point at the start. I come up to the middle, determining my length all the way through. So this is going to take time off your haircut, because it's less sectioning. And when you come all the way through the middle, come all the way back through, forward again, come up and through. Maintaining your fingers being square. Put in little sections by little sections by little sections, making sure that you're not leaving any scissor marks behind you. Maintaining it square, so the weight is still through the channels on the side, above the baseline. Pulling right up further as we go back, the crown, to maintain the weight of the crown. I pull down, pull back up, so there's a lot more length underneath here. Remember, you're thinking about what's underneath your fingers, not above what you're taking off. Same on the other side now. So you've got your guide from your cut fringe. So you have the cut you've done straight through the middle. This is here. You have your guide that you're taking off the fringe. Take it off. So you have the long bit in the middle. Always have that. because I've gone through the middle first, that is the safety blanket, guys. It's exactly the same as doing the center profile line, but just a bit quicker, because you're just doing it boom, boom. You're not going all the way through the middle, and then coming back, and then doing this, and then doing this. It's more fluid. Maintain it square though, the back, pulling out. Just make sure there's no overhang. So the length is done. I'm going to take the razor straight through it. As before, straight razor. This is going to add texture as well as taking a little bit of weight out of it. As you can see, I'm very, very gentle with it. So I maintain the weight as you're coming through the shapes, through the channels. That's your top done. Right, so now that's the top done. I'm going to go in with new seniors today. So this is just showing you the different variation of clippers I use, that I can use. You should be used. It's better to be used to a few different clippers than what it is to be one, because if anything happens to that clipper in the shop, if you drop it and your teeth break or whatever, then you're screwed if you're only used to that one clipper. So I'm going to go straight with the seniors, same as before, 2, open, and you'll see me keep the shape straight up and through the baseline. It's going to be a complete skip guard today. Like it was with Georgie, was a completely different haircut. As you can see, I'm keeping my squareness, coming through the channel, coming through the baseline, straight up and through, down to a 2 as always. So I've done 2.5 up and through, 2 up and through the 2.5, just under it though. So I'm not touching the hair above it, going up and through where you started with the 2.5 into it, so it's creating a blend ready for you, and saving yourself time and a lot of faffing about at the end. Remembering about the shape, all about the shape, guys. Boom, nice and square as it comes around. Exact same process right the way around, guys. Dropping down to a 2, now that I finish all the back with the 2.5. Same process. I was checking the mirror to make sure it's nice and square, which it is. It's got loads of weight through the channel. Boom. Because of how tight Ricky has it towards the fringe, I'm going to come in nice and tight here with the 2.5. Up and through, make sure this part's clean. Again, with a 2. So now again I'm going to go in my low pros. As I did before, I'm going to go to my low pros, 0, fully closed. Create our baseline with our 0, ready for skin. Creating it to the shape up. So normally I would go under in the middle of the C, but today I'm going to go a bit higher because of what the haircut that he has, because of the haircut that Ricky has. Stabbing it in. Nice and gently. Right way round, remembering to drop it down at the back. I know my reason why for that is because I come straight to exactly where I want it, with the shape, with the completely straight away, this from the 0 straight through the middle, but I will never carry it on. Because you could end up too high or you could end up too low. So if you come straight down here and then as soon as you get to the point that you want, you drop it down and you match it straight into that point there at the end, when you do the other side. So that means there's no faffing about, there's a lot less refining to do, so just go straight in here. Same again, where the shape up starts, top middle of the C cup, top of the C cup, sorry. Because it creates a guideline as well, so you know then where it's going to be. So you've got a guideline here, because that's from where your starting point on the other side was, and then you've got a guideline here, because you can see that in the corner of your eye when you're doing it, this part. And then just smash that. Perfect. Same as always, guys. You go back up to the 0. Underneath here a 0. So you stabbed it in this way. Then you go back up to it this way to make sure it's nice and clean with the 0. Also, guys, I'll be showing you how to fade in. My other 2 videos, I've showed you how to fade in with a longer beard at the front, or they've been growing it out at the front. But Ricky has a 2.5 straight through the middle, or 3, is it? 2.5 straight through the middle, and then I'm going to do a nice low fade here into it. It's going to look absolutely amazing. Going straight in. My skeletons, and gold ones. Gold FXs, get these, I got these from Unique Barber Supplies, legend as he is. Right, so as previously mentioned, I'll be doing his beard as well. We're coming straight in with the minis, skeletons, the bottom of the lobe on the angle, so it's like that. Cleaning all of the hair above it. That is the guideline done for your beard. Create another little line with the skeletons in between the 0 and the skeletons underneath for the skin, and to make sure that you don't go straight up to take the fade too high. So this is why that little line is there, is to give you another guide. It's all about creating guidelines, guys, so you know exactly where you are for your next step. Oh yeah, also, I will actually make it more triangular at the end as well. So I'm just going to keep the shape all the way through here, and I will take the weight off through this channel to for this channel, but I'll do that at the end to make sure I've got enough weight here before I take this off. Repeat this all the way around, same as keeping that little line underneath, the 0 line. Again, angling it that way, from the bottom of the lobe. Ricky is having a facial today as well, so that's just another service that you can add on to. I'm going to teach you how to do a facial. It's just another service that you can add. It takes 20 minutes, half an hour, add it on, but you can charge £30 plus just for a facial. But obviously you have a 45-minute slot for it. It does only take 25-30 minutes. But it is all about relaxing the client, getting deep in his pores, opening his pores up, cleaning all of his face, making all that beard super silky soft. Just making him forget about the outside world. Because for some of us, some men, this is the only escape that we have. Amen. Again, going into a Brawn Series 9. It is silky soft, my fave. Obviously using your fade brush, not your comb. Make sure you get all those sticky hairs off. Again, 2 in the middle. Double-headed here. As I get to the top, I'm using a single blade. So just to show you what I mean by a single blade, just like that, and coming straight off nice and lightly, so it doesn't leave a full foiler line, a heavy foiler line. Same on the bottom, single blade. Doesn't matter what end of the clip, the foiler I use. I'll only be using the single head as I get to the top. As you can see, there's no foiler line there. Circular motion at the bottom, full foiler, double head of the foiler. This is just to create, because obviously the hair is more dense at the bottom and at the back, so we make sure it's silky soft. Plus it doesn't matter about leaving a line because you're going way up past that. And single as you get to the top, up and through. Ricky's hit is really dense to the back. Even the Brawn Series 9 is a bit chewy with it. But still, it doesn't pull them playing. That's the best thing about these. Circular motions. And nice and light with a single head to make sure that there's no foiler line. You can see how thick his hair is. This normally chews through. If you watch my other 2 skin braids, this chews through here. Good dense head. Like cutting tree trunks. Same again, 2 on here, back and forth, doing a bit of circular motion, 1 up and around the ear, because it's easier to get right in there. Sorry, you can't see it, sorry, my fault, my bad. So 1 up and around the ear. Again, making sure you're not creating that spoiler line to save you time in the long run. As I say in every video, every skin fade, every taper, this transition from skin to zero is the most important, because if there's lines in this part of the fade, then it's going to create lines all the way through, because this is going to be constantly throwing you off. So why I use 4 different types of clippers in this part. Single head to the bottom. Now I've done that, I'm going to go on to my Andis Slimline Pros, and this is because, if you watch my previous videos, this is because this is shorter than the zero but longer than the skeletons, so therefore it's going to get rid of that little line I've done with the skeletons. I'll use it both ways, flat and against, depending on how much I need to move. And by what I mean by how much I need to move, how much of the line I need to get rid of, if there's any still left. Just in case you were wondering what I was on about. Obviously very, very light on the skin, not pushing too hard. Again, coming just below the zero, so I'm not going tight to the actual zero line, I'm coming just up to it. Doing in slow motion for you. Because if you go up to the zero line and you've created another line with these, so then it's going to be harder to get the zero line out, because it's done with these, not the actual zero. Repeat this all the way around guys, same process, same principle, become fluid with it. Do the same on the beard, that's the skeleton line, remember. And again. Now today, I'm going to skip guarding with my magics. Again, to show you the versatility that you should have as a barber. Obviously if you want to stick to one brand, you stick to one brand. I've shown you before how I skip with the low pros, and I'll show today how I do it with the magics. So again, same principle. I'm pop them down a little bit. Tilt it a bit more. As you can see my motion. If you watched my previous videos, you know exactly how my motion is. And here we go again, I'll do it nice and slow for you. Starting here. I'm against the head here, and as I get to the top, I come off and I'm hardly touching it. So that's my slow motion. What I'm actually doing is here, in the shot, that is the motion. maintaining the squareness. Always check in the mirror to make sure it's nice and square. Then I go half closed, do the same, but I'm skimming. So whereas I was skimming the base, so whereas I was skimming the baseline before, this time I'm going to be skimming the fully open bare blade. Sorry guys, I couldn't get my words out, I'm sorry. Same motion. Closed. This knocks out the zero line straight away. So there's no faffing about. Come back through if you need to, using the corner of the blade. So as I can see now, it's a little bit heavier here. So you reopen it and go back straight through it. And again, as you can see, that is lovely and square. And the fade is done. So I'm going to do this side now. As I do always, I work one side, then the back. Same motion, exactly the same motion. Closed, half closed, fully closed. And you can see how quick and easy that is. You see all seen the motion is tight at the bottom. As you get to the top, it's a lot looser. Pulling down if you need to on the skin underneath. Never pull it up, because sometimes you can leave lines then with a hair that is a lot shorter. So then you're going to end up taking lines, and you're going to end up, you're going to end up making more lines, and then you're going to end up taking the fade a lot higher if you pull it up. That's why I always pull from underneath. That's the motion. Tight here, soft at the top. Hardly touching it, skimming through. There you go, you can see how nice and square that is. Either side, still got the shape. And now, match it through at the back. Same again, half open, fully closed, sorry. So half closed, fully closed. Depends how you look at life really. Half empty and all that, half full, half empty. As you can see, there's a little bit of refining to go back through the crown. Back through the back of the haircut, but the fade is actually done. So I go back through and hit that out with a 1.5 guard and then drop down if I need to. Exactly the same principle as before, as my other videos. When it comes to refining, you always start at a number above, because if you go straight in with a number below and it's too short, you've created another line which then makes the fade a lot higher. And it's a lot more work for yourselves. So always start with a number that you think might be a bit too long, because you can always go down. Same principle again, just skimming through. In process. right way round, needs to be half open. Pretty close. Now I've gone, dropped on, sorry guys, as in a world of my own end. Dropped onto a 1 guard, open, just to go back refining it to make sure that there's no dark lines there anyway. Just going through, this is open, and I'll work my way down so it's closed. But initially the fade is done. This is just me being super fussy, going through, and showing you guys how to refine. So starting off with one open, coming around with the corner of my blade. What I always do is if I'm moving left to right, I'll always use my right side of the corner of the blade. So that half of the blade I will use. And if I'm moving right to left, in this circumstance, right to left, I will be going using my left side of the blade. And that's what I always do no matter what number's on the top. It's only slightly, so angling, if the head is there, like this, I angle it slightly that way, or vice versa. It's not much, I'm not using just the corner, it is like literally half a blade, no matter what number it is. And then I'm going to repeat that, that's the process I use all the way around for every number. See, it doesn't look like I am when I'm doing that motion, but that is the only part of the blade I'm using. So the whole way around now I've only used that much of the blade and that part of the blade. I'm going to go back around the other way and use the other side. And if needs must, go back through with it closed. Obviously this is all done by sight now guys, so the other bits were done by, obviously my process never changes. If I skip guard or if I don't skip guard, my process never changes. But, so the refining never changes, but the skip guarding it should be done, but my process never changes, so it goes all the way through, all the way start, so I've done my 2.5 and my 2, and then obviously if I need to refine I'll use a 1.5 guard, open and closed, 1 guard, open, closed, and if you need to, then you use the 0.5 guard. I don't need to on Ricky's here, so I'm not going to do that today. But the process stays the same, and this is all done by sight. The skip guarding is done by motion mainly, and on obviously sight, because you know if you're taking it too high or if you haven't taken enough off. But it's mainly done by motion, and then refining is all done on sight. So there we are guys, that is the fade done. Nice and square, still kept the shape all the way through. I'm going to go back through now and triangle the top, I'll show you that now as well. But obviously the fade is done. It's all refined, nice and square, kept it right up through. Right, so as I just mentioned, I've lost my comb. So using my talons, no not my talons, my Mitsus, not my talons, sorry. So using my Mitsu, my Taki 5.5, same as my icons, just I'll prefer the shape of these for this kind of cutting. So to make it more triangular, and then create a shape, coming straight through, dragging the fringe off. Section it back, section it back, section it back, section it back. So The reason why I've kept it here, I'm not going to touch any length here, but this is just to give me my guide of where my triangle my triangle shape needs to come to. So obviously this is going to be nice and triangular here, but I want how the shape is going to be looking. It's going to be nice and tight here, coming through, but really square here. So it's going to be, that's the kind of shape I'm going for. It's going to be nice and easy for Ricky to restyle when I'm not styled, when he styles it at home. Nice and simple. So that is the shape I want it to be. Not round, it's going to be triangular. How I determine this, I start at the back here, tight, I angle it out. This is loose here now, this is tight. Go right in there, this is why I put my talons, my mitsu, sorry, more of a point done on. As you can see, the length coming off, just creating a triangular shape. And again, I'm not going to touch anything from here, so I will just triangle it from here. So this bit I'm not touching with a section's gone through. Same again, here, elevate it a little bit more though, I'm not touching the head, following the shape from underneath. You have your guide. That comes through, it's nice and triangular, leaving a bit of length behind to play with, to style with. And as you can see, oh sorry, wrong way. As you can see, it's nice and square at the back. Here, nice and square. As you come through, just pull in tighter into the fringe. So it's a triangular shape, guys. I'm just going to do a bit of scissor over comb here to make sure it's not lumpy. What I mean by lumpy, guys, sorry, everything I say makes sense to myself. I just thought, no, well, people are going to say, what does lumpy mean? Right, so lumpy, what I mean by lumpy is, so as you can see now, that's perfectly square. That is, lumpy to me is when you look in a mirror and you see a fade and it just goes like that on the top, on the sides. It's not perfectly straight, it's got like a kink or something in it, that's lumpy to me. So you take it out however means necessary, whatever means necessary. There you have it, that's nice and square at the back and triangle at the front. So the actual, you will see now when I actually style it all and everything at the end. I'm going to give them the facials at first, so there's just no point in styling it. Same again. Start from here, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches in, come straight down. Take the fringe straight off. I'll not take it off, section it off. As you can see, there it is. Again, not touching any length to the back here, because you want this to maintain be square, maintain the squareness at the back, so therefore you don't touch it, and just taking the fringe off, above the fringe off, so it creates a nice triangular shape. Coming right way through. I'm not going to go all the way right way around because I do want that little bit of length here for styling purposes. Going it forward. And you can see it's starting to take shape there again. Again, not from here, you've got your guide here. Going to take this off. Section it off even. Say there's like wire wool. Again, creating that elevation, pull it up. So my fingers are nowhere near the head now, as they were at the start of triangling it off. Elevating it through. You will have your guide underneath. Almost got my finger then. Almost. And there you have it. You can even see it in the hair. It's much more triangular. It's a lot shorter through here. I'm going off site. I'm going off site now with a mirror just to cross-examine it. So it's going to look too heavy there when I style it. So that's all you got to do is put it to the. That's where the second line was taken. Pull it underneath. Pull it. Just take a little bit off. It's almost like scissor over combing. When you're blending, it's almost like that, so you've got to use that eye action. So again, using sight, you're coming through. You can see it's already going to be a bit bulky here. Just put it down, you've got your guide line underneath, which is here from your first line, from triangular shape, from making it a triangular shape. Just put it up, connect it through to make sure it's not going to be too bulky behind it. And now onto the beard. Right, so as I previously mentioned, Ricky has a 2.5 for the beard. I'll fade it in. Just going up. Straight through the middle with the two open, right way through. Making sure you're getting right tight to the lip. Going all different angles when it comes to the beard, especially when it's as coarse as Ricky's. You need to get all of the hairs. My hand is here to stop the hair going in his eyes, even though his eyes are closed. Again, going all different directions, making sure you've got all of the hair. All directions. Take the 2.5 up and through the corner of the tash. Now I'm going to drop down to a 2, and I'm going to begin my fade this way. So I'm going to start the 2 this way, and then I'm going to come back down. Zoom in a bit, yeah. Oh, sorry guys. Right, so as I've done my 2.5, I'm going to drop it to my 2. I'm going to do this because it's nice and short. I'm going to do this both sides. So I'm going to fade this side, fade that side simultaneously, whilst the guards are on. Clicking it down if you need to get rid of the stragglers. Right under the chin as well. Other side. I've done my 2.5. Then take my 2.5 up and through the corner with the tash. Careful with his nose ring, obviously don't be pulling that out. 2. And I'm gonna come fade. Sorry, where's my fade brush? Yeah. I'm gonna do my 0.5. That's my 0.5 line. Half open, half closed. Just above it. Three-quarters closed. Closed. Wiggling it through, wiggling it through. The other side. Same again. 1.5 line. 1.5 0.5 line. Half closed. Three-quarters closed. Fully closed. Going back through with the Andis if you need to, or with whatever minis you use, just go back through. Sometimes the clippers just do not take that. Removing all the hairs from the ears as well, what you did. Sometimes the zero just does not get rid of any other lines. Know your tools. And now I'm going to go, because I'm on this side now, I've got the one in my hand. I'll do one open. Create another little line. Very faint line. Half closed. Three-quarters closed. Closed. Go back through it with an open blade, with the corner of the blade. As needs must, this is all done by sight, this is now. And do it as you feel necessary. Like only you can gauge what's in your hand, where you're going to. So fluctuate between open and closed as much as you need to get everything looking nice and crisp. There you have it. Actually, I will just run the 1.5 guard open, just through the bottom, just to make sure that is perfectly faded. So this is open, 1.5 guard open, connecting the 2 into the 1.5, by 1 open, half closing it. Only slightly, just 50-50. If you've watched my other videos, it's the 50-50 motion. A lot cleaner. Now, back onto the one, open, exactly the same process, but this side. when Ricky's in the chair with me, unless he is actually having a facial, he's in and out of the chair within 30 minutes. He's done. Obviously we're recording now, so it's like ×3 that at least. So it's like an hour and a half, plus he's having a facial, so it's like a 2 hour, we're here for like 2.5 hours maybe tonight. So anyway, there's nothing me waffling on. One open, half open. Closed. Again, same as the other side. Go through it again if you need to with an open blade. And again down to the 1.5 blade, half guard open, just to skim through that 2 into the 1.5 and work down accordingly. Really sorry about that guys, I don't know what happened, the camera just cut off. You only missed a little bit with the 1.5 guard and I've covered everything this side of what you missed that side. So now I'm going to style Ricky's hair and then I'm going to box off and refine the fringe afterwards and shake them up. So I'm using Ruger salt spray as always. I'm going to run a little bit of satin, which is more like a wet look paste, and I'm going to run it through with essential, and these two will give it a very good hold. So essential is the dry mat, the satin is the wet paste, and what they're both going to do together is give it a nice pull in the place, in the position. And I'll refine the shape up and everything later. As you can see already, the squareness at the back, so the triangle. Gotta roll it right in. It's there. Clean off. This one I don't need it. I'm going to start off by using my diffuser. Full heat, full speed, and with it, I'll drop it down a bit. And with it, I'm going to be pulling up the back to create that styled triangular look. And as I get to the front, I'll be pushing it forward. And I'm just going to use my hands here. So I get to the front, I'll be using my comb and my brush. So as you can see I'm pulling up here. Changing over to my air direction nozzle, and I've lifted the back. Now I'm going to come brush this, get that side up nice and square. I'm going to completely manipulate the fringe and doing this. And how you do that is by using completely direct in the air with the brush. Manipulating the hair into exactly the shape you want it. All done by knowing how to control the air. Control the air, you control the hair. Cliche, I know. There we go. As you can see now, time to take a photo sheet. Around from the back, bring it around, and then as you can see I'm trying to create that channel, that airflow, while maintaining the squareness of the back, trim the length. Obviously this is a creative style for myself, but when Ricky starts it at home, that's all he's got to do is just go. Pulling it through, manipulating the hair and the style that you want. Oh, the style is there.